Breaking news! Something big is about to explode behind the scenes in the Dolphins organization, and believe me, you're going to want to hear it. We're talking about a ticking time bomb at the heart of this team, a coach who might not survive the first 5 games, a general manager hanging by a thread, and a quarterback whose future could be rewritten by the end of the season. Everything we thought we knew about the Miami Dolphins is about to be tested like never before. But before we reveal what's really going on and why the first month of the season could determine the future of the entire franchise, make sure you've hit that like button, but only if you're a true Dolphins fan. And if you've been following this team through thick and thin, comment below, go Dolphins! I believe in the Super Bowl. Now, buckle up, because what I'm about to share could change the way you approach the 2025 season forever. The 2025 Miami Dolphins are facing one of the most pivotal seasons in franchise history. Coming off a frustrating 8-9 season plagued by injuries, mismanagement, and questionable coaching decisions, this team is standing at a dangerous crossroads. The statistics from last year paint a picture that's more concerning than hopeful. Offensively, the Dolphins ranked 22nd in points scored and 18th in yards. That's a team with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. That's a team that was supposed to be explosive. Instead, they were middle of the road or worse. They were 25th in third down conversion rate, 25th on fourth down, and a mediocre 16th in the red zone. That's unacceptable. The defense, on the other hand, showed flashes of brilliance, 4th in yards allowed, 9th in both passing and rushing defense. But they were also 27th in turnovers and 27th in sacks. You simply can't win in the NFL if you're not creating chaos. And in crucial games, like the ones against the Titans, Seahawks, and Colts, Miami failed. Those games weren't just losses, they were avoidable disasters. The Titans game in particular, with the Dolphins holding a 9-3 lead at halftime and still losing despite having the game in control until the fourth quarter, will haunt this franchise. You can't blame Tua for that, he wasn't even on the field. But you can blame Chris Grier, who handed the keys to backup quarterbacks like Skylar Thompson and Snoop Huntley. And that's why Grier should be gone. And then there's Mike McDaniel, the so-called offensive genius. Well, what genius abandons the run when it's working? In games like the Chiefs' playoff loss, Raheem Mostert rips off 2 big runs to get the Dolphins into enemy territory, and then McDaniel throws it 4 straight times. Predictable bubble screens, poor time management, and one of the worst challenge records in football, 3 wins out of 12 tries, have put his job on the line. Add to that the fact that McDaniel leads the league in motion percentage, yet still fails to make adjustments or give his quarterback enough time to read defenses at the line. That's coaching malpractice. Let's not sugarcoat it. McDaniel's seat is scorching hot. He's got 4, maybe 5 games to prove he belongs. The whispers inside the building are getting louder. Anthony Weaver is getting love from players and assistants. If the team starts 1-3 or worse, McDaniel may not survive to week 6. There's no bye-week buffer, no cushion. The front office will start selling off talent if things collapse early. And the truth is, the players know it. And yet, here we are, a team with talent, but with massive question marks. Tua's health is always a concern. The offensive line? Still an unknown, with names like James Daniels and Austin Jackson having to prove they can hold up. The secondary is a mystery outside of Minkah Fitzpatrick. The pass rush added Matt Judon, and there's hope that the rotation of Chubb, Phillips, and Chop Robinson can finally generate pressure. But hope isn't a strategy. You need results. And don't let the low expectations from the national media fool you. That's when the Dolphins usually thrive. 2008, 2016, nobody expected anything and they made the playoffs. 2024, everyone thought they'd win the division. They collapsed. Now, no one's giving them a chance. But they better prove them wrong. Because if they don't make the playoffs in 2025, it's over. This team will be blown up. Grier gone. McDaniel gone. Tua possibly gone. Everyone out. And here's where things really start to get intense. The internal pressure within the Miami Dolphins organization isn't just media hype or fan frustration, it's palpable inside the building. There's a real sense that everyone from Mike McDaniel to Tua Tagovailoa is operating on borrowed time. Let's be clear, this isn't just a make or break year. This is a get it done or get out year. Let's talk about McDaniel first. From a pure schematic standpoint, there's no denying his creativity. His offensive designs are filled with motion, deception, and speed. The Dolphins led the NFL in motion percentage 2 years in a row, topping out at over 77%. But all that movement means nothing when you're burning valuable time, mismanaging play calls, and failing to allow your quarterback to properly read the defense pre-snap. That's not innovation, that's dysfunction. And the sad part is, even Tua acknowledged this after the Chiefs' playoff loss. He straight up called out the timing issues, admitting he didn't have enough time to make reads. That's your franchise QB throwing up a red flag. And this leads directly to Chris Grier's role in the mess. The fans have seen enough. The man's been in the building for over 2 decades and has little to show for it. He gambled on Tua. He failed to build a consistent offensive line. He swung and missed on key free agent moves. And let's not forget the coaching carousel. He's had multiple chances to get it right and keeps getting it wrong. And worst of all, he boxed out potential head coaching candidates when hiring McDaniel by demanding they stick with Tua and keep certain assistants. That's not building a team. That's building a house of cards. Now with the 2026 quarterback class projected to be deep and talented, if this thing goes sideways early, don't be surprised if the Dolphins clean house and start preparing for the next franchise QB. And make no mistake, that decision could happen fast. If McDaniel stumbles out of the gate, starts 1-3 or worse, and the team is once again riddled with poor in-game decisions and 0 halftime adjustments, he could be gone before the bye week. There's real buzz about Anthony Weaver behind the scenes. Players love him. Assistants respect him. He's not just a next man up. He's someone the organization may already be eyeing as a long-term option. And speaking of the defense, Weaver is already changing the identity of this unit. In joint practices against the Jaguars, the Dolphins defense came out firing. First play of the day, sacked by Zach Sealer. Then came an interception by Minkah Fitzpatrick that should have been a pick six. Jack Jones followed with another pick on Trevor Lawrence. If those signs are legit and not just camp hype, this defense could be special, but it has to translate to real games. They've been near the bottom of the league in sacks and turnovers. That has to change immediately. And what about the offense? McDaniel loves to abandon the run, even when it's working. We saw it again and again. In Kansas City, Raheem Mostert got the team to the 31-yard line with 2 explosive runs, and then McDaniel called 4 straight pass plays. Predictably, nothing came of it. And how many times did this man blame coverage looks as an excuse? They started playing single high safety. He'd say, so we had to throw it. Sorry, but the stats don't back that up. The Dolphins faced cover 2 more than any team in the league. Defenses were daring them to run the ball, and McDaniel refused to do it. That stubbornness might be his downfall. Adjustments are not his strength. He falls in love with schemes and doesn't deviate. That's why his teams start hot and then collapse. That's why the Dolphins began 2023 with a 9-3 record, then fell apart in December. That's why they got embarrassed in key games down the stretch. Remember the Titans game? Or how about the complete disaster in Baltimore? The Dolphins had the number 1 seed in their sights and fell flat. Again. And the injuries. Always the injuries. The narrative every year is, if only we were healthy. But at some point, you have to accept that building a team full of injury-prone players, especially on the offensive line, is just bad roster management. Terron Armstead can't stay healthy. Austin Jackson has flashes but disappears. Tua has had injury concerns since college. When you gamble on fragile pieces, you get broken results. This team needs to take care of business, period. The days of moral victories and excuses are over. In 2023, people criticized the Dolphins for only beating bad teams. But here's the truth. They didn't beat all the bad teams. And that's the issue. They blew it against the Titans. They collapsed against the Colts. That's why they missed the playoffs. This year, they don't just need to beat the teams they should. They need to take down contenders. No more hiding behind stats or highlight reels. This team needs to win now. Because if they don't, the rebuild is coming. Greer will finally be out. McDaniel's so-called genius won't matter. And Tua? Well, the front office might just decide to start fresh with a new quarterback from the 2026 draft. Everything is on the line in 2025. So the question I leave you with today is this. Is this team built to survive under pressure, or are we just watching the final act before the Dolphins blow it all?